Scientists discover that tea can be grown on the moon. People are selling their cars and quitting their jobs for anticipation of the world ending. And the songwriter who wrote Jesus Take the Wheel dies in a plane crash. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the universe. I got 3 strange stories from around the world for you. Let's do it. British scientists have discovered that tea can grow on the moon. It's the sound of science. Boop, 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 science. That's right, everybody. Rejoice, rejoice, especially if you're British, because apparently you can grow tea in lunar soil. And scientists are over the moon over this discovery that tea can be grown in outer space. Wouldn't you like to have a cup of tea in outer space? This was part of a study into how astronauts of tomorrow can sustain themselves for long periods of living and working on the moon. Researchers from the University of Kent have demonstrated that it's even possible to grow tea in lunar soil. So I guess this means the British are planning on colonizing the moon, right? That's what it sounds like to me. Well, thank God we have tea on the moon, because we can throw it in the moon harbor when we get fed up. They say history repeats itself. Why not have it repeat itself on the moon? That sounds cool. All right, let's learn a little bit about how these nerds discovered that they could grow tea on the moon. The experiments were led by Professor Nigel Mason. Oh, Nigel. That's such a British name. Nigel. Nigel of Kent's School of Physics and Astronomy, and Dr. Sarah Lopez Gamalin of the university's School of Biosciences. They planted tea saplings in soils specially designed to imitate those found on the surface of the moon as well as Mars. For several weeks, the saplings were exposed to carefully crafted temperatures, humidity, and lighting conditions that they would experience in space. Now, it turns out that the saplings that were tested in the lunar soil conditions are described as having, quote, flourished, with the tea plants taking root and growing, alongside a control batch left to grow in terrestrial conditions. Unfortunately, the Martian tea failed to grow at all. Oh, no tea on Mars, sadly. Maybe try coffee on Mars. Coffee might grow on Mars, you don't know. I'd actually rather be on a planet that coffee grows rather than tea, because as you know, I'm a coffee addict. I can kind of do without tea, but I know a good majority of the world just really loves their tea, and that's great and all. But everybody knows you can't survive on tea only. It's going to need beer. So has anybody tried to brew beer in these conditions? We need to start right now finding out what planets we can have beer on. It's very, very important for the human civilization as we go forward and start colonizing space, right? Don't you want beer for that? Nonetheless, the article says, the prospect of growing plants on the moon has been marked down as a success, with the results presented at the Space Agriculture Workshop in Bratislava, Slovakia. Bratislava, Slovakia. What a great place. I need to go to Bratislava, Slovakia. It sounds amazing. Probably have delicious sausage and beer there in Bratislava, Slovakia. We got a quote from one of the British scientists. Well, yes, the results of this project are very encouraging, as they demonstrate that a crop, can be grown in these lunar soils. Our next step is to better understand the physiology of the plants under these conditions, so we can improve growth and ideally translate these findings to other crops. Meanwhile, we're very pleased that the tea was able to grow. Now we're going to have to bring cows on the moon, because we need milk with our tea. As you know, we are British. They didn't say that last part about the cows. I just made that up on the spot. Just trying to get a laugh here. I don't think you can raise cows on the moon. There's no grass. That's a problem. And sadly, we're probably not going to be able to have brisket on the moon either, which I'm going to miss brisket when I'm out in space, if I ever get there. I don't know if I'd be allowed up there, but I'd like to record the podcast up there eventually if possible. So I guess if all I have is tea, I'll just have to drink tea during that process. But I encourage you to still buy me coffees when I'm recording the podcast out in the lunar atmosphere. Got to keep the lights on. I got another quote from one of these British nerds who says, well, we are at the very earliest stages of research into space agriculture, but it is reassuring that we may be able to provide access to the great British tradition of a tea break. Oh, that's lovely. But what about the water? There's no water. Has anyone thought of that? How are you going to brew your tea without any water? Also, big barrier to having a cup of tea on the moon. No air. There's no air. No atmosphere, no air. In all honesty, I've been baffled for so many years at the amount of dollars that have been spent on these experiments to see what we can do on these planets that we're never going to be able to really live on. There's too many barriers to living in places like Mars and the moon. I mean, the radiation levels alone, it's just not feasible. And yet they're just constantly trying to figure out ways that we can play pickleball on Mars and like, can you make tiramisu on the moon? Like these sorts of experiments. I mean, they all get a boner off it, these nerds. But, as far as it being practical for the rest of us, I just don't see it. I mean, I'm walking around with so many nanoplastics inside my testicles right now. Can the scientists get on top of that? Can you figure out ways to get rid of the testicles that I have, that I'm walking around with? Nano testicles. That implies that they're really small testicles. That's a funny phrase. Anyways, my point is we have a lot of problems here on Earth. I can't afford groceries on Earth. How am I going to afford groceries on the moon? Can the scientists use their soil to experiment with growing an affordable watermelon? That would be amazing. People are selling their cars and quitting their jobs in anticipation of the world ending as we know it, and pretty soon. It says an age-old prophecy has resurfaced online recently, with many people believing that it is set to occur tomorrow, September 23rd. The Christian prophecy is no joke, they say, with many figures in the Christian community taking to social media to preach the message written in the Bible, that the rapture is upon us. Oh, that's so cute. This must be their first rapture. These fools. These things come and go all the time. It's the end of the world. It's going to be Thursday. And then it comes and goes. The world doesn't end. They go, oh, no, we meant 3 Thursdays from now. And then they go around without shoes for the next 2 weeks because they gave their shoes away during the first rapture craze. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would kind of welcome Armageddon right now. I mean, wouldn't you? In some ways, it would solve a lot of our problems. It definitely would solve unemployment right away. And the nanoplastics in my balls, it would solve that problem as well. The tariffs, fears that we all have. Do they have tariffs in heaven? Has anyone researched this? It must say something about tariffs in the Bible, right? It covers everything else, it seems. Let me get some more information that's located within this article that I came across. South African pastor Joshua Malekela brought mass attention to the religious claiming that God will be coming to rescue the Christians out of the world on both September 23rd and September 24th. Both days? Usually the rapture is just one day. I guess there's a lot of people this year. The rapture was one day before the population swelled to 8 billion. So now God needs 2 years to get everybody up to heaven. I mean, not everybody's going, apparently. I'm definitely not going. I watch way too much pornography, and sadly, I've spoken out against the Christian God a few too many times on the Weird AF News podcast. The Christians get upset, but please note that I make fun of all the gods on Weird AF News. If you're a god, you're going to get it on Weird AF News. I'm going to give it to you. So they're saying that the rapture's coming tomorrow and the next day, so clear up your calendar. It's called the Rapture, and the pastor spoke about how this would be the fateful date for followers of Christ, coinciding with Rosh Hashanah, or the Feast of Trumpets. Where it becomes very problematic is when you have people thinking of quitting their jobs and selling their belongings being the best thing that they could do at this moment with the onset of the rapture. And in case you're not sure what happens during the rapture, it's all been outlined by the preacher himself as he spoke about Rosh Hashanah, which would leave the world unrecognizable after God's judgment. He spoke out on YouTube. I mean, is he the only one talking about this right now? Or it says others are onto it, but let me keep reading. He says, the rapture is upon us, whether you're ready or not. I saw Jesus sitting on his throne. You saw Jesus? These people that see Jesus. I could hear him very loud and clear saying, I am coming soon. Apparently the Son of God is set to make his grand return tomorrow and Wednesday. News spread quickly on social media. Many people have expectedly got carried away with the prophecy. Somebody on TikTok named Tachalochin Desalane was convinced and even sold his 5-year-old car, saying, she's got to go. I don't need her beyond September. I'm going home to where my Father in heaven is. Aw, Tillahun, poor guy. This must be his first rapture as well. Sadly, he's going to be walking for the rest of the year without a car, as Jesus wanted it. You should give away your shoes too, dude, and walk around barefoot as Jesus did. I mean, just really go full-on rapture. It says here, another user, I guess they mean a TikTok user, says she's expecting the rapture to come, claiming in a viral clip, quote, "I've given away all my earthly possessions to the heathens that I know will not be coming with us, the chosen ones. That's what we are. I've already transferred the deed to my house. I just need to give this car away." Oh, come on, man. Poor people. This reminds me of, you ever heard of that guy Harold Camping? He was an evangelist who also had a very popular and widely syndicated radio show back in the day. He had multiple rapture days. He even bought billboards saying that the world is going to end on this day. Then it didn't come. He chose another day, bought more billboards for the other day, destroyed so many lives as people just sold off their property and personal items, quit their jobs, dropped out of college, just ruined lives, as so many cults and organized religions tend to do, sadly. People are just so quick to hand over their loyalty to psychopaths and just be taken advantage of. That's what it really comes down to. Yeah, you could start any sort of rapture business and people would buy into it. Raptures are us. We value your peace of mind and offer plans to cover all the post-rapture concerns, like cleaning your pool after you're dead. Just hand over the keys to your stock market portfolio. We got this. I mean, even if you believe the rapture was coming, this is still a strange response to it, to start selling your car and handing over the deed to your house. If the world was going to end, why do anything? Just roll some blunts and sit by the pool or somebody else's pool. Who cares? Call the police. The world's ending tomorrow or Wednesday.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
The guy who wrote the song "Jesus Take the Wheel" has died in a plane crash. I mean, you can't even make this up. The man's name was Brett James. He was one of the songwriters behind Carrie Underwood's hit "Jesus Take the Wheel." He's passed away. James and two others were killed in a plane crash in North Carolina recently. The Grammy-winning songwriter was traveling in a small-engine aircraft when it crashed into a field. What's with all these country singers dying in plane crashes all the time? It's so bizarre. I mean, it seems to happen a lot. Am I imagining this? It says, Brett James, age 37, worked with several of music's top stars, including Keith Urban, Kenny Chesney, Taylor Swift, Bon Jovi, and, of course, Carrie Underwood. In 2007, James won his only Grammy, and it was for the song "Jesus Take the Wheel." And sadly, turns out Jesus doesn't have a pilot's license, and so not Jesus' fault by any means. Planes didn't exist 2,000 years ago, so how could Jesus know how to fly a plane? There's no way Jesus would know how to take the throttle or the stick or the yoke or whatever it is that you want to call it. I'm not really sure I would want Jesus to take my throttle or my wheel, if we're being honest. As you know, Jesus was very much into wine, and I don't want my chauffeur to be a wino in general. These are the jokes, guys. They're not very good, and I'm probably not going to be saved by the rapture tomorrow or Wednesday because I'm a heathen. But, I mean, ask yourself, what would you do with a title like this story? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's so crazy, so ironic, and was sent to me by a number of my listeners, so I had to cover it. But I don't want to jest about the death of somebody in general. I'm really a good person at the base of it. Let me end the story by talking about how wonderful of a human being this guy was, and that he was even elected to the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2020, which is a big deal. The two other people that were on board the plane haven't been identified publicly, but they have families too, and it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. All of this happening right before the rapture too. I mean, what are the chances? I can't think of a better way to end this segment than by reading some of the lyrics to the song Jesus Take the Wheel, which I've never heard before, but maybe there's a message in here that we can all take. She had a lot on her mind, and she didn't pay attention. She was going way too fast. Before she knew it, she was spinning on a thin black sheet of glass. She saw both their lives flash before her eyes. She didn't even have time to cry. She was so scared, she threw her hands up in the air. Jesus, take the wheel. Take it from my hands, 'cause I can't do this on my own. I'm letting go. So give me one more chance and save me from this road I'm on. Jesus, take the wheel.
This episode is brought to you by Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels and music are made for each other. They share a rhythm in the craft of making something timeless, while being a part of legendary nights. From backyard jams to sold-out arenas, there's a song in every toast. Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Tennessee whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Rapture. You guys ever heard that Rapture song by Blondie? You know, they say that's the first time that rap was ever played on national radio, because there's like a little rap verse in there. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they say anyways. I'm a bit of a music nerd. Makes me wonder, can you DJ in outer space? Have they tried that? Have they sent a DJ up to the space station? Could you stick a DJ on the moon? Got so many questions. I want to be able to dance, man. Hey, let's give thanks and praise. First, I'll thank you, my listeners, for spending some time with me in this insane podcast that I record in a closet 5 days a week, because I'm out of my mind, clearly. But maybe, I don't know, maybe as of Wednesday I won't have to do this anymore, so my time in the closet might come to an end. How did you spend the last 8 years of your life, Jonesy? Quality time in a closet, connecting with some weirdos out there in the world. Let me give thanks and praise to someone who bought me coffee, which is tremendous, because I need it. Hopefully there's coffee up in heaven, although I don't think I'm going to heaven. There's got to be coffee in hell, though, right? There's got to be coffee down there. There's got to be coffee in hell. There's way more coffee shops in hell than heaven, so I know where I'm going. Happy to do so. Okay, anyways, Cassette Tape Loops is the username. Cassette Tape Loops bought me a coffee. I bet Cassette Tape Loops is a DJ. Cassette Tape Loops bought me a coffee off my website, weirdafnews.com. That's where you can buy me a coffee. So consider. You get to write me a little note, too, when you do so. It can be a love note. It can be a death threat. It's whatever you want it to be. I mean, you buy me a coffee, you write what you want, and I'm going to read it. Howdy, Jonesy. I am still binge listening to the podcast in reverse order, and you have made me laugh every day over the last 3 months since I started listening. I listened to the last 2 years of the podcast in less than 90 days, and I'm not slimming down. Just want to tell you I adore the show. Lately, my anxiety has been through the roof, but I don't feel anxious when I'm listening to Weird AF News. Laughter really is the best medicine, and you're my laugh dealer. My laugh dealer. I like that. I never considered myself a laugh dealer, but that's pretty cool. One time I thought I might be a blackjack dealer because I just love blackjack, and I thought I could be a really good blackjack dealer, cracking jokes at the table, but I never chased that dream. Laughter really is the best medicine. You're my laugh dealer, Jonesy. I joined the Patreon last month, so I figured I'd buy you a coffee this month as a meager show of my appreciation. Good luck with your life, man. Chris. Oh, Chris, a member of the Patreon. Oh, I think I know. I know who this is. You threw me there for a loop with your username, Cassette Tape Loops. Chris. But anyways, thank you for, in addition to being a member of the Patreon, which is like super supportive, thanks for buying me this extra coffee and sending me a little love note of encouragement. Appreciate that, Chris. Give it up for Chris. If you guys want to join the Patreon and hang out with Chris, we got a nice little crew in the Patreon, by the way. Great group of people, support the show. They're enjoying the extra content that I'm putting in there. Go to weirdafnews.com. There's a Patreon banner you can click on, or you can go to patreon.com/weirdafnews. We got that Patreon-only fantasy football league going, and it looks like I'm going to drop to 1-2 this week because, man, did my team crap the bed yesterday. Oh, boy. I'm going to have to stop bragging so much at how good I am at fantasy football after this performance. Seriously. It's problematic. I'm going to have to give my team a facelift somehow. I mean, I stand by my draft. I kept to my guns. I drafted the team I thought would be quality, but, things have gone south. Quarterbacks get hurt. Next thing you know, your wide receiver's not getting targeted. You know how it is. Got a wide receiver with a rookie quarterback that I thought would be adequate enough to at least, support one wide receiver. Nope, not the case. So anyways, Jonesy's got to make some moves because Jonesy's sinking to the bottom of the standings. Well, none of it's going to matter anyways because tomorrow is Rapture. Or Wednesday.